Okay, so we're going to review some basics in OnShape. Let's just make a square. Remember, we say sketch. We have to say where to sketch, so we got to click here. Once we click in our plane, then all of our tools open up. We want the square or the corner rectangle. I'm going to click on the drop-down menu. Choose the corner rectangle. I'm going to make this rectangle appear. Pull, drag, click, and we have our rectangle. If you need to, if it's still grabbing this rectangle, making new ones, you can hit the escape tool. But we want to resize this. We're going to make it 2.5 inches on both the horizontal and vertical lines. So I choose the dimension tool, come down, highlight, click, drag up, click on the number. When it highlights, I'm just going to enter how big I want it to be, 2.5. Enter. And in this case, we're going to make this a square. So I'm going to put my cursor over the vertical line. See that it highlights? Click, pull out, click again, and make that 2.5. And hit enter. Now we have a square. I would like you to extrude that square. Click on the extrude tool. When you do that, this window opens up. It's got new, add, remove, or intersect. We're going to leave it at new. And then down here where it says depth, we get to tell it how much depth to add. We don't want it to be 1 inch, let's say 0.5. And so now we've made a 1/2 inch thick block. I'm going to check mark this. And let's look at what we've done. That's what we've got. And now we want to put, it's going to look almost like a screw or something. I'm going to say sketch again. This time, instead of sketching anywhere, I want to sketch right on top of the object that we drew. Click on it. All my tools become available. We're going to make a circle. Choose center point circle. And it's going to be hard to know exactly where the center of the square is, but let's just make this. Okay. Now we get to something pretty important. The dimension tool to tell the circle how big we want it. I'm going to click on that. And I'm going to come down to my circle. And right now it's 0.843 in diameter. Let's make that a 0.5 diameter circle. But here's the really important thing. I want you to make it so that this circle is exactly in the center of the square. So here, please watch carefully. I'm going to click on the side of the square. Click. And I'm going to bring my cursor over to the center of the circle. Click again. And now it's telling us how far the distance is in between the two lines. Half of 2.5 is 1.25. That's the number I'm going to enter here. I'm going to click on this number and change it to 1.25. In order to make this perfectly centered on this square, I also want it to be 1.25 inches from this line to the center of the circle. So watch again. It's not too hard, but you have to be careful. Click once on this line. Come up to the center of the circle. Click on that line. And you should see a double-edged or double-sided arrow. Click on the number and say 1.25. And now we have our circle perfectly centered on the square. And we're going to have this sort of stick out. So let's go to extrude. And we're going to allow, when the window pops up, to let it add. And in this case, 1 inch seems okay. And this is what you should have. Don't forget, put your initials or your name on it. To do that, we say sketch. Click over here. I'm going to sketch right on the flat part. You might be able to fit it in here if you wanted to. I'm going to click right here. Say text. Click, drag. Check mark that. Let's extrude a little bit. I'm going to say remove. Let's change blind to through all. And there's our object. Take a screenshot, put it in your notes.